And all I gotta say is if you voted for Trump, how are you feeling right now? Especially if you're a Latino, how are you feeling right now? I literally work in a phone store and I had a customer just come up to me talking about his girlfriend got deported maybe about 2 weeks ago. He just found out that she's going back to Venezuela for sure. They took her phone, slammed her phone, and now he's left to pay everything due on the phone because that shit is literally broken down to the ground. Because ICE did that. And he came to me, and I'm literally like, I wish I can help you, but if you try to cancel that line, they're literally just going to send you a bill of however much you owe on the phone, which is so not fair because what the hell, you know? So literally, the most I can do to try to help him was like, hook him up with other people that he could try to fight that. But it's just like the whole situation, like, what? That's actually ridiculous.
Hey,
Like,
beautiful
actually.
people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by, supporting your girl on this channel. So, credits goes to the creators in these videos. And, guys, in today's
There
video,
is a farmer who is going super viral right now because he's making many videos about how he's in trouble due to the current administration and how he might lose his farm, which is, of course, devastating, and nobody wants to lose their farm. And if you look at the comments section and you look at his follow-up videos, it's abundantly clear that he never bothered to consider Project 2025 or the plans that Trump clearly had for small farmers. How long were we sounding the alarm bells for Project 2025? How many videos have I personally made educating people on Project 2025? It is devastating and not at all surprising how you all voted against your own interests and now you're complaining about it. We told
What's up,
you.
everybody? So President Trump is winning the trade wars. I know there's a lot of people on the left that were very doomsday day on Trump and his tariffs, and he's going to cause a trade war and XYZ and all this different stuff.
There actually may not be a more poignant and perfect example of the educational critical thinking and knowledge crisis that our country faces with young white voters than this video. When I saw this video, the thing that I said out loud in the first few seconds was, I really hope you go into detail about this. I hope you provide any sort of factual data with your reasoning.
Trump is right. Trump knows what he's doing. So just trust in the fact this guy's a successful businessman. This is what he did. He made deals. He negotiated deals. This is what he does.
Does MAGA understand that when they use this logic as their means for why they trust Trump, that they are putting their trust in somebody who hasn't paid federal income taxes in almost 2 decades and who also has bankrupted 6 businesses? Do they fundamentally understand that? What you're basically celebrating is somebody who cheats the tax code and who doesn't actually know how to run a business. He bankrupted a casino.
So it's not surprising that he's been able to have so much success is because this is what he did for a living. Trump is an example of a true leader. He's putting the American worker first, putting American businesses first, and putting America first.
Fundamentally, what's baffling to me is that if any sort of MAGA Republican would say out loud, I am perfectly okay with Trump's trade deals increasing the cost of my everyday goods as a means to fund the deportation of undocumented immigrants, because that's what I believe America First is, I might be able to fundamentally wrap my head around that logic. If they said, I am perfectly fine with the next decade being increased inflation year over year because we are trying to create domestic manufacturing and we ourselves need to front that bill in order to make that happen through higher tariffs, I might be able to understand that logic. But that logic doesn't exist because the same voting base that believes that angels heal people's cancer also believe in a person who simply says out loud, I am putting America first, and these trade deals are a wonderful thing, when they are the exact antithesis of everything that they voted for, but they fundamentally won't stop and do the research to be able to understand this.
Trump is what an American president should look like. Strong and tough on all levels. Trump is making America great again. God bless President Trump. God bless you watching.
And that is the political sentiment of millions of Americans in this country right now. Zero facts, zero critical thinking, zero knowledge, zero details. When conservatives began their vicious attack on education and preventing young people from being able to go to colleges and universities, this is the result that they wanted, and they got it.
Ah, what a beautiful morning. So grateful that Trump got in office. Life is going to be so much easier again.
A few moments later.
So I just got the quote from the dentist in Mexico I've been looking to go see, because no offense to my current dentist in the United States, I love him. He does a really great job, and I wish I could go to him. I just can't afford dental care in the United States.
Own the libs. Are you winning yet? No, because you played yourself. These are the females who lack the spine and the courage to step into a private voting booth and vote to safeguard their own rights as women. They're so weak that they actively participate in their own downfall, allowing men to use them as tools to strip away their own rights and help strip away the rights of us all as women. This is what happens when you're gullible enough to fall for the conservative patriarchal illusion of a traditional family, where the man is supposed to be the leader, but in reality, that so-called provider is a failure, leaving you, his wife, so financially helpless that you are forced to rely on the very people that y'all demonize and cheer to be deported just to survive. Now look at you crossing the border into Mexico. Yes, the same Mexico you clutch your pearls over just to be able to afford health care. You're out here bragging about voting for Trump, yet you can't even afford to put America first under Trump. You're out here fighting for white supremacy, but white supremacy ain't fighting for you. Make it make sense. And the best part, this is just a warm-up, so buckle up, because the real struggle hasn't even started yet.
It's pretty funny to see so many of these fuck around and find out liberals, blue MAGA, who said some of the most demented and vicious things before, but especially after the election, are a lot of the same ones that are now like, oh, accountability archive. Like, you can't, what do you mean accountability? You can't hold people accountable you're not in community with. I've heard like 5 people say that. It's like, oh, now you understand the idea that accountability has to be with people you're in community with. That's funny. Glad to see you just realized that. Because when it came to go on witch hunts to destroy other people, you guys had no problem with using the term accountability for that. It's just now that it's them and their pro-genocide friends that are being called out that all of a sudden they want to explain what the word accountability means. All of these same blue MAGA liberals who have a huge problem with the idea of an accountability archive are literally the same liberals that have spent the last 7 or 8 years cheering on when people's lives were destroyed, cheering when people got fired from their jobs and lost all of their livelihood because of a tweet they had made 10 years ago. So many of these people were so vicious that they wanted to cancel people or destroy their lives for simply being associated with people that they thought were problematic. But now they want to talk about the nuances of accountability. Amazing.
All right. I got an FAFO for the red state of Ohio. I've got an FAFO. And also I want the Christians to come to the front. Christians, please come to the front. Ohio voted for Donald Trump. They are canceling free meals for kids, poor kids who have no choice of working and being born. Ohio voted for Donald Trump. Also, Ohio, you're okay with poor kids not getting free meals, sometimes their only meal of the day, so we can spend $200 million on a ballroom for the White House? $200 million for a ballroom at the White House. $49 million one-day birthday party. $300 million for golf in the big, beautiful budget for Donald Trump. Super Bowl weekends, NASCAR weekends. Is this what you voted for? Because it doesn't seem very Christian-like to me. This is an FAFO, but I think sadly it's for the kids.
Did you hear about the 40,000 Chinese students that are going to be deported back to China? So in case you didn't know, for years, China has refused to take back all of their citizens that enter the United States illegally. And each one of those 40,000 individuals that I mentioned earlier had received deportation efforts, and China still refused to take them back. That meant that for years, thousands of Chinese nationals have been walking in the United States freely, even after receiving final deportation orders, because the Chinese government would not cooperate with retrieving their citizens. Now, this has been going on for way over a decade, and it made immigration deportation almost impossible to work with China. But this year, everything changed. After major pressure from the United States, the Chinese government finally caved, and they have officially agreed to take back Chinese citizens. And those deportation flights are starting to fill up. And because of this, over these months, 40,000 Chinese individuals that are Chinese citizens are finally being sent back to their homeland. They're Chinese citizens, but the media only wants us to focus on what's going on in El Salvador, what's going on in Venezuela. But deportation is not exclusive to Mexico. It's not exclusive to Ecuador. It's not exclusive to all of these nations.